Heyo, welcome to my channel. My name is Sapphire. Today I'm going to be going over how to do this super festive Christmas look. So let's just get right into it. Hey guys, so to get started, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm going to use the Wet n Wild, what are these called? The cat suits to start doing my brows, yeah. I'm going to take the color Missy and Fierce on a palette so I don't have to put it on my hand. I'm gonna take the Spectrum A17 brush, and just like how I normally do my brows, I'm gonna start by underlining the bottom first. And then just fill in the brow with whatever's left over. So I'm gonna leave the front blank, and I'm going to use this lighter color to go in. This is the shade Flame of the Game. Okay, I'm just going to take that same brush, dip a little bit into it, and do the front of the brow. Now that the brows are done, I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Light Medium, and I'm going to clean up the brows. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the eyes. I already primed them with Urban Decay's Anti-Aging Primer Potion. And I'm going to take the shade Butter from the Jaclyn Hill palette and run that all in my crease. This is a Wet n Wild P20 brush. But you can use any fluffy brush you got, of course. And then I'm going to take the Sugar Pills Love Plus on another fluffy brush and just run that in the crease too. I'm actually going to start by pressing the color just so I get the most pigment where I want it to be, and then blend it out. And I really want to build up this color just so it looks super, super red. So going in again. Don't worry about how messy it looks, because it's all going to be cleaned up and stuff at the end. So no worries. Okay, I'm going to go back in with that brush that has butter on it and blend over the edge. Use a really, really light hand so you don't get rid of all the red pigment that you just put down. Okay, I'm going to take a smaller brush now. This is a Luxie small tapered blending brush. And I'm going to pick up the color Jax from the Jaclyn Hill palette and run that right there in the crease. Don't bring it up too high. Just keep it tucked right next to your crease. And I use circular motions to blend so the shadow doesn't get dispersed further up the crease. And also keeping the brush pointed up while you're placing the color helps to define the crease even more, since we're going to be doing a cut crease. So taking a Morphe G19 brush, which is just a little tiny pencil brush, I'm going to pick up Central Park. And I'm going to place it in the crease right below that Jax color. And blend it a little. Okay, with that color set down, I'm going to take the tapered brush from earlier and start blending out that line. Remember to use circular motions so the color stays where you put it. I'm going to darken it a little bit more, so I'm picking up more of Central Park on that small pencil brush. Lightly going in the crease. Okay, now we're going to get ready to cut the crease. So to cut the crease, I'm taking ColourPop's No Filter Concealer in Fair 00. And I just place some on a little palette and a large flat synthetic brush, taking a little bit of product. And I flatten the synthetic brush first, just so I can get it nice and sharp. I'm going to start by patting. And then dragging. Okay, with the crease cut, I'm now going to set it with some white eyeshadow. And I'm taking the color Skull from the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. So I just took that skull color on a little flat brush and patting it on. And don't worry if it goes over where you cut the crease. I'm going to show you how to clean that up. So after you set down the white, any areas where it went over where you cut it, take the little pencil brush that you used earlier and just run it next to the line. Okay, so here comes the fun part. So I'm gonna start the candy cane kind of liner that I want to do by taking a cream paint from the, I believe this is CC, yes, the CC Beauty Flash Palette from Amazon. I'm loading up that red color on a little paintbrush, a little detail paintbrush. Start by doing the bottom liner first. Remember to use short strokes so it's, you get as much accuracy as possible. So we're going to start doing the little swirly pattern. Just start at the inner corner. Just bring it up into the crease and drag it down. And take your time when doing this just so you don't mess it up. Okay. Start at the highest point from the first little hump you did and just repeat that motion. Alright, so I'm going to go in with a cream white from that CC Beauty palette and just brighten up the areas back here, and as well as up here where I made another little arch. So be very patient. Just gonna pat a little bit in these spaces. Go back in with the brush that you used for the red, and you can sharpen that up back here, as well as up here. Alright, so with the top part of the eye done, I'm going to do the other eye and then my face, and we'll get started on the lower half of the eye. Okay, so I put on my base and I set my foundation, so I'm going to come back and finish everything else. I don't really contour during the winter times, or really like ever. I just bronze, and I'm going to take the e.l.f., what is this called, bronzer palette, and a Spectrum A01 brush. And I like to swirl it into the bottom too. tap off any excess, and I pat where I want it first, up on the forehead, and then I swirl it in, circular motions. Next I'm going to highlight. I'm going to use the Too Faced Love Light and You Light Up My Life. Taking a little bit on a Spectrum A21 brush. I love this brush for highlighting. I really like this highlight because it doesn't go on super heavy first. It goes on pretty sheer and allows you to build up the intensity to how you want it. Now for blush, I'm going to go in with this new Morphe palette that I just got. It's the blush palette. I believe this is the cool toned one. So I think I'm going to take this hot color with a Spectrum A05 and lightly go over the apples of my cheeks. Alright. So let's go ahead and finish up the bottom of the eyes. To start, I'm going to take a flat, little like fluffy rounded brush from Spectrum, the A07, and I'm going to take Midoriya's. Any My Hero fans out there? Hey. Anyway, I'm going to take Midori from Sugar Pill, take that on the brush, tap it out, and pat that green on. I'm going to take it right under the wing that we made, very lightly so it doesn't overlap. Okay. Taking an angled brush now and a darker green. I'm going to take that dark green from the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's called Enchanted. Just pat that on the outer half. Ooh, that's super dark. And then wing it out very lightly. We're going to blend that out with the brush from earlier. So it blended a little too far down for my liking. I'm going to take a skin colored shadow and a fluffy brush and clean up that at the bottom lightly. I forgot to mention that I set that cream red that we used at the beginning for the candy cane stripes with Sugar Pill's Love Plus shadow, just so that cream wouldn't get all over the place and all over my eyes. So with the eyes done, we're going to go ahead and move on to the fun part of the look and start putting lights across her face. I went ahead and zoomed in just a little bit so you can see more of what I'm doing. And I'm going to be using the Mayron Paradise Paint Basics palette for this part. So I'm going to start with the black paint on a liner brush. And I loaded the black on there, and I'm just going to draw a line across my face. Okay, and with the line drawn on, I'm going to go ahead and start making like little, I don't know what you call them, what nubs for where, I guess it'd be called sockets. There you go, light sockets for the light bulbs. It's just a little square. And then you just go all across your face, adding them. I like to alternate between lower and upper. With all the little sockets marked out, we're going to go in and start drawing our light bulbs. And I'm taking the red Paradise Paint and just slowly making the shape I want. And go ahead and fill it in. Now I'm going to go in with some blue paint. I'm just going to take red, blue, yellow, and green and just alternate until I get to the end. Okay, with the lights all across the face, we're going to go in and start adding some dimension and make them look more like they're turned on, like they're glowing. Hey guys, I don't know what happened, but I ended up losing the footage of me going in and adding the white to the lights, but all you do is take a white cream paint and dot it in the middle of the light. until it's blended out to how you want it. And then you can go in with an eyeshadow that corresponds to the light color that you're at and just blend that eyeshadow around the light to give it the glowing effect. So for the lip, I'm going to take this green from Colored Rain in the shade Ivy. Once I get them filled in with Ivy, I'm going to take Venus Flytrap by Jeffree Star and pat it in the middle. For fun, I'm going to take the white Mehron paint on a liner brush, and I'm going to add a line or little diagonal lines like candy stripes on my lips. So I'm going to go grab a Santa hat and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I hope you liked this festive AF, Christmas look. It would be really cute, just to go out to a holiday party with just the eye makeup. But I mean, like, you can be extra like me and do the whole thing and be the baddest bee at the party, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, this is it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!